This is my circuit. It uses our Arduino HCSR04 hydrosonic sensor. It uses one servo and it uses one DC motor. The components of my packaging robot uh, is broken down here. I use a distance sensor to detect when to close the gripper on the package, which the gripper is right here. There's also a barcode sensor to get the information of the packaging, which it sends to our inventory management robot, and it gives me back the data based on that item. There's no barcode sensor here, so I just use a dip switch to kind of simulate the barcode. Um, and then I have one servo to open and close the gripper. I have three stepper motors to move the robotic arm from the conveyor belt into the packaging area. And then I have two servo motors to put the push the package into place into the packaging. The packaging comes up through like a hole behind these the sealers, and there's a motor that pushes it up, and then there's a motor that pushes it down, so it can go be delivered. This is also just the bill of materials. If we go back to the circuit, um, one of the biggest challenges, or not challenges, but the biggest thing I want to do was have these dip switches all pull low. So these are pull down resistors. That way they can be naturally off. So it'd be easier for me to do the calculations when it comes to um, converting it to the inventory numbers that I have, which is just basic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At first, I create the item with the like the barcode, the dimensions, and the weight. I create a dictionary with the barcode, the item, the dimensions, and the weight. Um, this is the gets the inventory size. Declaring pins for the dip switches, the ultrasonic sensor, the motors, the minimum detecting distance. I'm reading the distance from the ultrasonic sensor, which is going to return it to the loop. This is reading the dip switch code. This is finding it in the inventory, stopping and starting the motor. This is initial setup, basically setting things up as an input, as an output, the motors as an output, um, saying the system's ready. This is just all the logic, which was confusing sometimes, but eventually it worked. Um, so, I mean, it's kind of, I try to make it like not that unorganized, but it still is. Um, it basically once it the distance triggers the process. It also detects to see if the item is a readable barcode. Then it sends it, and if it is, then it says item found, gives the dimensions, gives the weight, activates the motor, which is this. Oops, and then it gets sent to a shipping area, sending to be delivered. If none of that happens and it finds an item that's not there, it just says move item aside, and then that's the process. So if we simulate this, plug it in. Oh, I need the. So right here, which it already found item three because I have one and two both high. This is within 40, so now it's gonna go past 75, which was that threshold that we put right here. So we could change it to maybe like what two? I think that's five. No, six. So we found item six, activating motor for packaging, sends to be delivered. And then we could do something that we for sure know isn't there. Maybe that's a nine, I think. Oops. Oh, seven. Move item along or aside because it's not found. Uh, it pushes it aside. We can do just item two, maybe. Item comes along, detects item two, and that is my robotic system.